Okay, here's your homework help for problem number 11 on section 1.4. They want us to simplify this expression, x to the 3/4 times x to the 1/2. Now to simplify this, we're going to use two of our exponential rules. First one we're going to use is the x to the a times x to the b. Whoops. Let me go back here. X to the a times x to the b. Since the bases are the same, they're both x's, I can go ahead and add those exponents together and get x to the a plus b. So we'll be using that rule. The other rule we're going to use is the rule that says that x to a rational exponent, a over b, I can rewrite as a radical. That's the symbol here, right? The check mark, or the root symbol. And if it's x to the a over b, I can write it as the bth root of x to the a. So let's go ahead and start. First, using the first rule right here, since the bases are both x here, I can rewrite this as x to the 3/4 plus 1/2. And then you're probably wondering, well, what's 3/4 plus 1/2? You got to think back to fractions. To add fractions, we need the bases the same. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make these both fractions of fourths. This one is 3/4. This one is 1/2. Well, 1/2, that's the same as 2/4. So let's change this to 2/4. And now, when I add them together, 3/4 plus 2/4 equals 5/4. So I have x to the 5/4. And now you can see that we can appeal to this rule here. X to the a over b equals the bth root of x to the a. And I can write this as x to the 5/4, or 5/4, equals the 4th root of x to the 5th. And that's a good enough answer. You could put that down. But we can actually simplify this even more using another rule, and that is that if we have two roots, let's see, we'll write this one in green. If I have two roots that have the same index, let's write it down. So the nth root of a number, x, and times that by the nth root of y, I can combine those together and get the nth root of x times y. Well, I can always do the same thing backwards. I can say if I have the nth root of something times something, in this case x times y, I can split that apart as the nth root of x times the nth root of y, just by going this way instead of this way like we normally would think to do. So using that rule, over here with my 4th root of x to the 5th, the 4th root of x to the 5th is the same thing as the 4th root of x to the 4th times x to the 1st. And of course we don't need to write the 1 there. We can just write the 4th root, or x to the 4th times x on the inside. And I can split this apart as the 4th root of x to the 4th times the 4th root of x. Okay, see what we did there? And if you really need to, we can leave that 1 there to help you understand. But why would we want to do this? Well, right here, this part is asking, what would you multiply 4 times to get x to the 4th? That's what the 4th root means, is what would you multiply 4 times to get the stuff inside, and the stuff inside is x to the 4th. Well, x to the 4th, we don't know what the number is, but we know that it's x times x times x times x. So what would you multiply 4 times to get x to the 4th? Well, you would multiply x. And so the 4th root of x to the 4th, just like the square root of something squared, the square and the square root cancel each other out. The 4th root and the 4th power here are going to cancel each other out, and we'll be left with just an x. So the 4th root of x to the 4th is x, because x times itself 4 times will get me the x to the 4th that I am looking for there. And so then I have x to the 4th root of x over here is just still there. I can't really do anything with that, because since I don't know what x is, I don't really know what I would multiply by itself 4 times to get x. It depends on what x is. So we just write as the 4th root of x. And this is actually the most simplified answer you can get course, we wouldn't write the 1 there. We would just leave it like that. So either one of these are good. This one's probably the better one if you can take it that far. But there you go.